Good morning, everybody. It's COOLA from Raw Stocks. We have another edition of our pre-market prep. Looking into yesterday, we had virtually exactly what we thought was going to happen. Now, post-market, this thing went bananas. Okay, of course we got Israel and Iran, having their beef right now, and things are just going nuts. And so we're seeing a pullback on the market. And we're below our pivot point where we talked about yesterday. So we're going to kind of see where this goes. Clearly we came all the way down. This is that neckline we talked about right here yesterday. But it came all the way down into it. All the way down into it. So we're going to dive into this. We're going to look at the data for today. And we're going to see kind of what the feeling is. But before we get into that, I want to go ahead and do a shout out to our sponsors. Thanks to Gamma Edge and Blackback Stocks. Without those guys, we'd not be able to do this for you on the daily. So make sure you go utilize those affiliate links and let them know that we're showing the love. Okay, so let's pull up some data real quick. Oh my gosh, I just closed my browsers. All right. Today, really nothing besides consumer sentiment this morning and prelim inflation expectations. I wouldn't worry about this at all. None of this matters. 9 a.m. usually has a shift anyways. It's usually a fake out time, but I wouldn't worry about that. No real big driver. So nothing on that end. Now, let's take a look at some of the data. Pull this over real quick. Let's take a look at SPY. We can look at this and see that we're very much put dominated. This is a pretty serious little put dominated, almost like some people do. Put dominated gamma condition here. Pulling towards 598, 605 being the high side of the range here. So let's go take a look real quick at what we had. So yesterday we had 605 to, let me close this. We had 605 to 598 is where we're at. So we were to this morning. This is going to come up some. These levels are wrong, so we'll turn those off. We're right at 598. That's virtually where we're at. So this is what we have for today. We stayed within our range yesterday, and we're trying to kind of just sitting here. So I thought this was going to give us the opportunity to potentially see some type of breakout for a move above this. But the strikes did it. It is what it is. So I'm kind of sitting right here. We talked about this pivot range right here as well. Kind of clear area. Maybe this would split down after that 598, 597 area. Taking a look at the data here, you can clearly see that we're in some negative gamma area under 600. So our pivot point transitional area is at 600, and we're showing weakness by being underneath it. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us jump off the bottom of the range here and retest 600. If we break through 600, I think we could see us just really kind of jet up towards that 601.75, 602 area and retest this consolidation range. But if we find ourselves rejecting off of that 600 level and maybe even being range bound between 600 and 598, I think that's something that could just be a burn day, okay? And people are going to probably talk about how this may look like some type of head and shoulders or something like that. I'm not really buying that yet. I think we need to see 598 given up and kind of tested before we say something like that here. I mean, realistically, we're looking at 598. Kind of, if we slip outside this range today, it's going to cause us a pretty good size sell. A little bit of uncertainty, see VIX spike, stuff like that. But I would looking for targets like this low here, I'd be looking for this level here right around this 593 area to fill to the downside if that's going to happen. But we're going to say we're going to stick within our range, and there's two different really options here that we see this maybe sneak out for a second and see if it recovers. But if we see a strong sell outside of this and get continuation, look for those targets. You're looking for this alert right here at 590 596.84, and you're looking for this range right here. You're going to clearly see that there's a pretty key level here on the close, and it's a multiple tier level. So I think you'd be looking for that. I don't think that this is going to mess with us too much in regards to their little war over there. I think we need to watch for a potential fake out, sell down, before watching this recover. Maybe we see some type of chop, but watch for the test of 600. If we break over 600, I think we could easily squeeze up towards the top of our range today. So, and just the world is not ending. Let's take a look at SPX, see if this is going to show some confluence here. Full complex here, very much call dominated, really big draw towards that 6100 area, and then we're starting to see some nodes to the downside starting to grow, right? We kind of saw this with earlier with 6100, 6200, started to grow just little bits like this, and then we started gravitating that way. And well, now we're starting to see it the reverse way. So let's take a look. Even on the short-term call, short 0 day to expiration, we see the gamma condition is call dominated, with a big pivot point at that 60-30. Okay, so this is a pretty huge little potential like I see here, where we see 60-30 to 6100. Let's map that range out real quick. I think we had the expansion set up today, but we got robbed. Yeah, we did. We did. This was completely set up. This was completely set up for a potential move to the upside. I mean, look, we were positioned totally up for it. So got robbed by that, that's for sure. But looking at it, we're way below expectations here, and we're super into some of this deeper put money over here. So always when it's down below our range, it's more volatile and it sells down quicker. Okay, so we've already visited all the way down to this range in after hours, so we're going to see kind of what happens if we need to revisit that area or not. But as of right now, SPY's got us kind of propped up right here, near that 6,000 level. If we hold that, we'll see if that's the case. So again, this kind of shows and kind of puts us on confluence that we talked about, either a full-blown bounce and retesting the consolidation range, or we see some type of consolidation range before potentially retesting that. Okay, and that would be the bottom of this range right here. So I still lean towards calls, but you really need to see it maintain over the top of 6,000 here. Okay, and that's gonna be tough, but I think that's the right move. I would just avoid doing anything 0 day unless you're smooth and fast with it. Okay, because we could see this just consolidate right here. We could see just this today and just kind of chop on 6,000 undecided, right? So keep that in mind. Let's take a look at NVIDIA real quick. NVIDIA, man, this thing screwed us again. I think we had our breakthrough coming, our distribution. So our little lotto on NVIDIA just went kaput because of this. I don't think we can recover from this. Okay, yeah, 145, 150 is virtually fallen off completely. Yeah, 145 the upside, 140 the downside. So this is shrank. So chop range. So we talked about two different areas yesterday, clearly. And we actually did the swipe and made our move all the way back up to that range. I thought we could maybe get that confirmation bounce, but I did talk about how we can just jump out of the gate and just keep going up towards it. So nice little move. Nice little move there. But 145 is going to be our resistance. This is going to change to something like this now. And fully expect a just a range bound trading here. Probably go visit 140 on this now. So wouldn't be surprised to see a 140 visit. I wouldn't buy anything in Nvidia right now unless you got a 140 visit and you're looking for it to retag up 145. That's it. I wouldn't go short at 145. At this point, I would not, and I would go long at this 140 area, bottom of our range here, looking for a bounce up to that 145 area. But reason why I wouldn't go short at 145 now, especially if we go ripping towards it, is because people are going to be short, and if it pops, it is really going to squeeze. So at this visit, I wouldn't do it. Another strong close over the daily four. Opening up right below it. We're going to see if we can get any type of continuation, or if we're just going to chop here again. So wouldn't be surprised to see 140 tested. Like I said, that's down to this range. This is going to look raw. This is going to look bad if we get it closed towards 140, but we're still within range. Wouldn't be surprised to kind of see this thing maybe at this point make some type of move, right? You're looking for some type of consolidation there. Nvidia might be hung up for another week, maybe two, unless it wants to break down even further. Tesla. Bad look yesterday, right? So containment range in their daily four here. It was showing that a potential distribution to the upside, but daily 20 came in, stomped out Wednesday, and then yesterday it made that push up and got sold on, and actually got below our daily four at 320, and we're seeing it kind of slip below that. So keep an eye on that daily 200 support, okay, which is in that 308 3010 area for a potential range between this here. Okay, that's my guess. Let's go look at data, see what it says. 320 to 310. Call dominated gamma condition still. So I was close. I was thinking 335 was still on the table. Let's go look at this real quick. Yesterday we talked about the range was set up at 325, and we saw multiple times that it tried to push over the top of it. That's why we eventually got the big squeeze over this level, but then it got sold on and it got below 325, and people were just dumping. Now we're back at our pivot area, and what does it want to do, right? So for me here, 310 is kind of the sand line, line in the sand, excuse me. And we'll raise this up. 310. This is no longer a pivot. This would be technically like a support, right? So keep this in mind. This is where we're at. I talked about this yesterday, that you could see it slide down into this range. Well, here we are. We're here. So if you did do that Tesla short under 325 to that 312.5 visit, you were on top of it. You were on top of it and you were swimming in it. Okay. Okay, so Tesla, I mean, can we get a bounce off of this range? Absolutely. Absolutely. We can get off a bounce off this range, revisit that 320 range. This is going to come down some actually today. Yeah. So 320 to 310. If you break outside of this range to the downside, it could get hairy. I think you could be looking at a 300 visit. Okay. But as of right now, I mean, you might get that gap close. Okay. So it kind of freaks out, comes out below it. But if you get the recovery over 310, especially if you see it kind of hold or you see some type of strong move over it, feel free to get in that, looking for that thing to retest into that 320 zone. Ultimately, when we look at this, we want to see a close over the top of 320 for any type of continuation. Otherwise, we're going to show some short-term weakness, and we might go and revisit some of these lower end moving averages towards well, not lower end, but some lower in value, 307 to 296, either one of those. But realistically, it should be just our 306, 307 area with the daily 200 here, and see how that works out. That would be the lowest that I would see us going, and definitely be buying that dip and just see how that responded towards that. So, okay, that's going to be it for today. Hopefully, this was insightful. I know it was a little short, a little late today, but at the same time, this is a great opportunity for you to learn, see what the plan is, put it into motion, and hold yourself accountable within your plan. A lot of times people will go outside of that plan, start buying in the middle of the ranges, and then they get caught and they wonder why they didn't log profits. For the month, we are green almost every single day besides one. We lost on one day. It's going to be okay. If you need help, rawstocksllc.com. rawstocksllc.com. Come talk to us. All members, you guys know my DMs are available for you. So make sure if you need anything, let me know. Come take a look at us, guys. rawstocksllc.com. And we'll talk to you later.